Hey there, stranger. It's been so long. Welcome to Tanchaz Talk, the world's only English language program focusing primarily on Hungarian folk music. My name is Kalman Magyar Öcsi, coming to you from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And it's been a long time, actually. It has been several months. I have some good excuses for not doing a show for the last few months. Mainly, since the beginning of April, we were down in Florida, in Naples, Florida, and we spent the remaining time of the pandemic, which is still going on technically, but while the vaccination started. So we were in Florida with the family April and May and half of June, and just recently returned, done with the 14-day quarantine, and I am back to share with you some beautiful music. And today's episode is the Euro 2020 in 2021 edition. That's right, the Euro soccer competition is a few more days left of that. And of course, Hungary had a big part in it, in the so-called group of death, which we'll talk about. And today I'm going to be playing for you some music, of course, from Hungary, some new stuff coming out. And of course, as well, featuring some international music fit for the occasion of the Euro, which has been a wonderful tournament, by the way, and we'll be seeing in a few days who wins that one. So it's we're still in the middle of it. So there's can be no spoilers. You're hearing this after Hungary has dropped out of the competition. Quite beautifully, actually, if I might use that word to describe it. Let's play some music. Hagyományok Háza, the Hungarian cultural house and heritage house in Budapest, is on fire still in terms of putting out some unbelievable music, especially these live shows, like 60-65 minute performances of bands playing, and it's been some young artists and some older, more seasoned artists, and also some quite well respected and experienced, though younger, musicians. I'd like to play for you some of music from Torshoy band. And these guys and the young lady, Zsiko Zsuzsi, their singer, they've been around the block for about 10 years now, and they're about to come out with a new CD, and it's called Amerikás dalok, so American style tunes. I'm not exactly sure what they're going to translate it into, but I have been asked to actually write the liner notes or the introduction to the CD, and which we're working on right now. But I'm very excited to share with you a clip that from their recent live performance, which is going to be going to be on that CD. Let's listen to some beautiful, really, really beautiful Hungarian, a little more urban type of music. Let's listen to this here. Torshoy.
Esteledik a faluba, mégis szól a nóta. Ez a piros barlang is annyi áll a kapuba. Fehér a ház, zöld a ablak, csipke a függöny rajta. A parad arra szerető lesz a piros barna. Ja, Istenem, ne szomorúság van egy lánynak. A bánatát titkolni kell, nem mondhatja másnak. De ha neki a bánatát nótára lerakja, akkor attól irradatív hiányat húzatja.
Torso is fantastic band. A lot of these guys studied at various conservatories and Liszt Ferenc Academy and the like. Great musicians. That's Morgetan Mate, by the way, wonderful clarinetist who's been to Csipke Tábor in the past.
Kis paprika, nagy paprika, de erős. Még azt mondják, hogy a babám viselős. A viselős miért nem vigyáz magára? Minek hallgat a marha legény szavára? A viselős miért nem vigyáz magára? De minek hallgat a marha legény szavára?
Beautiful. Torsoy. That's going to be an exciting CD that they're going to be putting out. In Amerikás dalok, it's not just about, American, has nothing to do with really American music. Some of the lyrics are really speaking to the diaspora, and also they do a really wonderful kind of, various selection of music, different sounds, different setups. It's going to be great. It's going to be coming out in a couple of months, if maybe not weeks, we'll see. That's Torsoy. So let's talk some soccer. So Hungary was in the great group of death, as they called it, with Portugal and with France and Germany, and played their first match at the Euro against Portugal, and was really hanging in there 0-0 for most of that match until the very end, when Ronaldo and his compatriots decided to wake up and score 3 quick goals in succession. But it was a really good start for Hungary in the tournament. There was a lot of energy, and of course the stadium in Budapest, the newly constructed stadium there in the city, was the only one during the whole Euro competition that was able to be completely filled, which is super exciting. And I'm happy my brother-in-law Öcsi was there as well to witness it. Hungary and Portugal are very similar in terms of their size, geographic size, and also the population, roughly between 9 and 10 million people or thereabouts. Their music is quite different though, and today I wanted to play you some music from Portugal. This is a fado. I'm not sure the pronunciation. Fado is the spelling, and this is kind of folk music, although more new style for Portuguese, but it's very similar to the Hungarian tradition of the hajnali, kind of talking about loss and love and heartbreak and the like. And this is a wonderful Portuguese tradition that I'm embarrassed I don't know too much about, but doing research for this show I decided to read you that description of the fado genre, and it's really, really cool, striking presentation of music, and the singing is just insane. So let's listen to this Portuguese selection, thinking back to Game 1 for Hungary against Portugal, which ended up in a 3-0 loss, but it was a good start, strong start for the team, at least for the first 85 or so minutes. Portuguese music coming up now. I already get the sinking feeling that I got in minute 86 of that match, unfortunately.
solidão que tu me das, coração. Não há vida nem é morte. A lucidez, desatino de ler no próprio destino, sem poder mudar-lhe a sorte. A lucidez, desatino de ler no próprio destino, sem poder mudar-lhe a sorte.
Well, it's probably harder to find a song that better describes the sinking feeling that all of Hungary had at the end of that match in the last few minutes, where all the goals started to come from Portugal. So the group of death featured Portugal. They called it the group of death, of course, because it was so difficult to get out of it. The three favorites, of course, Portugal and France and Germany. And then there was Hungary. Nobody really expected to get out of that group alive. And of course, they did not, because the next two matches would be draws, or tie scores, as they say in America. But it was not enough to get out of the group. All three teams that did get out of that group ended up dying in the next round. So that's some I guess, good feeling for the Hungarians. But the next game that they played was also at the big, beautiful Budapest stadium, and that was against France. You remember the famous goal by Attila Fiola coming down the wing and so scoring a beautiful goal. And then a guy we've never heard of called Antoine Griezmann for France tied it up, and then that's how the match ended, 1-1 against France. And when I think about France, I always think about the interesting character there, Michel Montanaro. Montanaro, a great musician himself, a composer and creator of new ideas, actually, a French chap who spent a lot of time in Hungary and learned the language, and he's toured all over the world with his backpack and all his millions of instruments that he puts on his back, and he became somewhat of a figure in the Táncház community too, hanging out a lot with the musicians and learning a lot and sharing his passion for Hungarian folk music. And he toured, he's toured in Canada and the U.S. several times, but he toured in the U.S., I think this was in the 03, 04, we're talking almost 20 years now, and we did a concert together with some very special friends. Raif Hizeni, a former guest on this show, actually, the Kosovar Albanian accordionist, and some other great musician friends. And we played a gig at the Satala, which was a live music, world music club in New York City. And Montanaro played multiple instruments, and he wrote a beautiful piece many years ago called Montanaro's Waltz, aptly named, and it has a nice French folk music feeling to it, and I wanted to play some of that for you. It starts with a really cool, very, very rarely heard solo on the Jews harp, or the jaw harp. Listen to this. This is played by Montanaro himself. There's some background speaking because it's a live club. Sounds like water dripping. Somebody opening the cash register. That's right, he's Andy on accordion, myself on violin. Paul Brown on bass, Újvári Miki, Miklós Újvári on the guitar, Matt Moran on the drums. Yeah, that was that band, 2004, Satala. Montanaro switching over to the shepherd's flute. This goes around the circle a few times, as we say, when you repeat the same tune over and over, same 16 or 20 bars. But we always tried, every time we played it, Montanaro, who's really, his music is more like suggestions than concrete instructions. So there's a lot of playfulness in between. You can kind of do your own thing. So he said every other time we play it, someone do something different. That's why Montanaro is always so fun and exciting to play with. Montanaro's Waltz in honor of France and the 1-1 draw that Hungary played against them. It was well done by the boys. It was very, very, very exciting. Really not to lose to the defending World Cup champions and to play a fine draw. This is year 2 now of really no summer camps or festivals, which is quite a shame, of course. And I have fond memories of watching the last year, a few Euros, and the World Cup too, at the Chipke camp in Michigan and Sauk Valley, especially surrounded by very passionate soccer fans. Usually the musicians, a lot of the bands, where they really love to watch the soccer, and obviously so do we here. So we would be watching it in breaks and downstairs in the cafeteria. If you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. And one of the musicians who's very passionate about soccer, of course, is Gaja Pop István, a good friend, a great violinist, and multiple trips he's taken to Canada and the US and Western Europe. And a new concert from Gaja, as in the aforementioned series that the Hagyományok Háza keeps posting. To my surprise, every week or so there's something else that's brilliant coming out from them. And here we had a whole concert by Gázsa and his band, including Árendas Péter and Székely Levente, both of them formerly on the show as guests, and Robi, the bass player, Liber Robi, and Szabó Dani, the cymbalom player. So I just as I'm thinking about missing another unfortunate summer of the Csipke without the Csipke camp, I thought of Gázsa and how he would have been enjoying watching the games. And this is his rendition that was just posted a few weeks ago of some Romanian tunes from Mező-Méhes, Transylvania. Good old Gázsa always delivers the goods. Guys get better with age, I tell you, like good French cheese getting better with age. Yes, Gajo, Arandas Péter, and Liber Robi as well. Beautiful Mezoméhes Roman music from Transylvania. Well, game 3, of course, you remember who was it against? Germany. And we were watching this one at home with the family during the quarantine, and when Adam Szollai hit that header, remember that famous header, absolutely beautiful finish, and I was like, this game is ours. And it was ours. Ended up as a draw, as all great soccer matches do. It was 2-2 at the end. Yeah, we couldn't beat the Germans. Had we beat the Germans, of course, we would have been progressing. Hungary would have been going to the next round, but it was not meant to be. So Euro 2020, which took place in 2021, came to a crashing halt for Hungary, and the other 3 teams, as I mentioned before, progressed, as you now know, only to fall out in the round of 16. Hungary's silent, sweet revenge. So German music, there's a lot of options here. Of course, polkas to play, but I wanted to play something from a wonderful young man who many of us know, also from the Táncház movement. His family is quite involved in the Hungarian, but as well as German ongoings. This is Marco Kecskeméti from Kitchener, young phenom, 15, 16 maybe he is now. Well, he's been playing for years and years, and he plays a really mean accordion, and he's a really nice kid, and he's been doing some really nice online concerts and sharing some clips during the whole COVID. And I wanted to play something of Marco just playing his accordion beautifully in a solo. This is the Happy Wanderer polka, recorded live and put on YouTube live in his basement in Kitchener. And I send my love to Marco and to his father and his mother and his brother and sister, and wonderful things coming up in the future for this young man and young musician, Marco Kecskeméti, playing the Happy Wanderer or polka, as the Hungarians say, Happy Wanderer. And as we look back to the 2-2 draw of Hungary against Germany. So if you're not sure what to listen for, listen to the left hand, that's the bass. A lot of interesting things going on. It's quite developed. Marco is not just right hand, but left hand as well. He's playing the chords and playing some really nice creative bass lines as well. Nice, that's Kecskeméti Marco from Kitchener, playing a nice Happy Wanderer polka. Well, with, the whole crushing defeat of Hungary, who do you root for? And who did you root for? I mean, there are a couple of countries left, as Hungarians, I tend to root for the Central or the Eastern European countries. Czech Republic was still in it until the last round here until the round of the quarterfinals. Was really liking their team, but of course, Poland. Me being part Polish, small part, but still Polish. My heart was set for Poland to continue on. Of course, they did not progress past the group stage either. They had not a great showing for them. World-class team they are. And during all the matches, we had a little group chat going with Gordo Levi from Gyanta, but also with Alex Karpiza and Robbie Langtree in Winnipeg, the Winnipeg Polish boys. And we were talking a lot about games during a kind of live chatting. And in preparation for today's episode, I asked Robbie, hey, can you send me some fun clip, something recent that you found on YouTube maybe, so we can play a little Polish music as I'm going to look fondly back on these last few weeks watching the tournament together with those guys in a way. And he said, yeah, you got to play this one. These guys this is a young band playing in Zakopane at one of the bars, Táncház, some really cool live Polish folk music. So there's a bit of crowd noise here too, but let's listen to this. This is sent over from Robbie Langtree from Winnipeg. Some Polish music here. These guys are mere teenagers. Very good band. So this looks to be like a nice live Táncház going on, couples dancing somewhere in Zakopane. Teenage girls singing. Of course, that's not a bass, that's a cello that young man's playing. Typical Polish style mountain music. Interlude. Key change, oh yeah, G minor. Wonderful energy. Thank you to Robbie Langtree for sending that over and also hooking me up with TSN. Long story there. And Alex Karpiza as well. Send you guys love. Looks like no Folklorama this summer either. Winnipeg's Great Festival A lot of things obviously canceled, although things are starting to come back now slowly, including a Gyanta reunion. Our band reunited a couple of days ago, actually, and that's coming up in a moment. But the last team that I rooted for that actually progressed into the round of 16. Now, once Poland was out, well, look to the south. Croatia. Love that Croatian team. World Cup's finalist, of course, a couple of years ago. Again, lost to France in the finals. And love those guys. Love the energy. Love the country. And, of course, love the music, having played a lot of it myself. My favorite Croatian American band, which no longer exists, but my friends from Otrov, a great band that played for many years together. Mostly former Tamburitsins, actually mostly all former Tamburitsins from Duquesne University, and they were the real all-star band. And I wanted to play a clip from them. I know they're big soccer nuts too, and my condolences to them for the team, Croatian team, losing against Spain in a very, very valiant effort. But here is one of my favorite songs, sung by the bass player Dave Kosovets from Otrov, Sve bi dao. Here it goes. Love this one. Modric.
Srcu bečarskome, jedna mala curica garava, sve bi dao da me ona voli,
Mysterious sound of the tambura, the Croatian national instrument.
U životu sreća kratko traje. Čuje, pa nek se lolaje. Sve bi dao da me ona voli. Da me voli, al da mene voli. Sve bi dao
Otorova Tamburashi Orchestra. Beautiful stuff. Well, like I say, now we three more games left. Semifinals this week, and then the finals in the weekend, next weekend. So if maybe you're listening to this, it's already over. But it's been a great tournament, really fun, despite all the COVID restrictions and the like. And I'm particularly very proud of Hungary and what they accomplished. And now it's the Gold Cup time in a couple of weeks. Time to root for Canada and the US and see what happens there. But like I mentioned before, things are going to start coming back to normal. I started this show now a year ago. I started doing Tanchaz Talk 11 months ago, and I'm so happy I started. It was really a COVID project, but I will continue to bring you episodes. We have more interviews coming up and more of these music and stories episodes to give you some stories and to update you on what's going on, but also to share some beautiful music as always. And I'm very happy to say that Gyanta, our Hungarian folk band, is back, and we actually had a party a couple of nights ago in Toronto, a nice house party, and I recorded a bootleg of that, and I will play it momentarily. Here we played some mezőségi, where everyone was up and dancing and singing, and we had a wonderful time. And we will be doing a herd immunity tour in September. We are going to be in Toronto, Montreal, and in Ottawa, so in the middle of the month. So you'll be checking that out, of course, on Facebook and on Twitter and on Instagram. We'll be posting more information about that, but I'm very excited to have some live music again and to share that with you. And playing for dancers is the best thing we do, and we're very excited and we're going to be having special guests as well playing together with us. So it'll be a fun September. But for now, let's listen to some mezőség. Some Magyar Politika music we played this past weekend. Not a great recording, but at least you can see that we are back. We are back playing, and the dancers were there. So that's me and Levi and Attila and Jesse and Sylvie were there too, singing, and we had a wonderful time. And of course, there's some episodes you probably missed, so make sure you check out Tanchaz.com or Tanchaz Talk's YouTube channel. And I gotta keep encouraging you. You don't want to miss the great interviews that we've been having with some legendary folks, all in English, of course. And if you go to any popular podcast platform, you can subscribe. Just search Tanchaz Talk on Apple or Google Music or Spotify or whatever it is, and you will find Tanchaz Talk interviews. Those are always super fun and educational, I will add. I tell you, it was something. I didn't play with the band for 15, 16 months. So it was kind of weird. I was kind of rusty, trying to remember the tunes and what's coming after what. I try to put it together here. Maybe you could hear the rust a little. that was the palinka kicking in there at the end for me. Sorry. Thanks for listening today and tuning in, and can't wait to see you next time, guys. Thank you.